Well, guys, you saw the leak from the Supreme Court, an unprecedented thing. This kind of stuff doesn't happen. I don't know that I'm ever aware of a leak. This is not like Congress where everything leaks. And trust me, I've done enough testimony. Things are leaking during closed-door hearings. I get it.
That's a video that Donald Trump Jr. posted yesterday morning, and I want to say we haven't altered it at all. That's how he actually posted it. That's how he appears to be speaking. He posted that before he went and voluntarily testified before the January 6th committee. A source tells NBC News that Trump Jr. appeared via video conference for 2 hours. Hopefully the folks transcribing were up to it. We do not know what he talked about, but we do know 2 days after Election Day, he texted White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows a plan to dispute the election outcome. And then while the Trump mob was storming the Capitol on January 6th, he texted Meadows, quote, "He's got to condemn this crap ASAP. The Capitol Police tweet is not enough. This is one you go to the mattresses on. They will try to F his entire legacy on this if it gets worse." I think it's fair to assume both those things came up. Today, we also got deeper insight into the Republican reaction after the insurrection, thanks to yet another recording of Republican House Leader Kevin McCarthy. The recording comes from New York Times reporters Jonathan Martin and Alexander Burns for their new book, This Will Not Pass, and shows McCarthy just 2 days after the insurrection condemning Trump's actions as atrocious and working with Joe Biden to move the country forward. I'm going to play the entire call released from the reporters. I want to note that this video and subtitles are theirs, not ours.
Yeah. Look, what the president did is atrocious and totally wrong. From the standpoint, we're 12 days away. I mean, the one point I'd make with Biden, if you have an impeachment and you're stuck sitting in the Senate and he needs cabinet members, you've got Secretary of Defense, you've got a lot of things that you've got to have moving. And if you think from a perspective, you put everything else away, this country is very, very divided. I mean, I've got people I've never thought would be in this type of position that are very sophisticated. They think this thing is going to be different. They're angry. They want to continue the fight. I mean, I've never seen anything like this. The best way, I think, for everybody as Americans moving forward is focus on the future, not the past, trying to bring us together. And I do think the impeachment divides the nation further and continues the fight even greater. That's why I want to reach out to Biden. I wanted the president to meet with Biden. If that's not going to happen, I want to see about us meeting with Biden, sitting down, make a smooth transition, show that, and continue to keep those statements going. So hopefully, I know he's got to talk to Pelosi, but he's going to, hopefully he calls me today, and see if we can start that process. I think that would be beneficial to his presidency too. And I actually think he personally would be stronger above it to actually say something to that extent. I want to move the country forward. Why have this? I mean, if they move to impeachment, that means they call us back next week. Their members have it a little easier with proxy, but that puts everybody else they'll continue it. They'll protest everybody. And I'm just worried about the scary.
Sorry, I think there's a chance, Kevin, of getting them not to move on impeachment.
I'm trying to do it not from a basis of Republican, just basis of hate. It's not healthy for the nation. You know that, and that's a conversation I want to have with Biden himself. I mean, I used to do that with Biden when he was VP up at his house there. I think he would get all that. I don't know what the stats would think, but we'll see. And look, Nancy, what were you hearing about the call? I had a couple of Dems call me right now. I'm on this call, so I didn't get any feedback yet.
Yeah, just that they're discussing it. It seems like there's definitely, obviously, anger on their side, but also division strategically on what to do. You know, I think the options that have been cited by the Democrats so far are the 25th Amendment, which is not exactly an elegant solution here.
That takes too long, too. It could go back to the House, right?
Yeah, and correct. If the president were to submit a letter overruling the cabinet and the vice president, it's a 2/3 vote in the House and Senate to overrule the president. So it's kind of inartful. Obviously, impeachment has been discussed, and then I think they want him to resign, which I don't see happening either. But members are talking about it, and we'll keep you posted on what we're hearing. But certainly, I would say it's House next week.
It's pretty striking to listen to that, how normal McCarthy sounds in that recording. No sneering or disparaging Democrats, someone who seems to have, again, normal instincts, a firm grasp on reality, casts everything he has said publicly since then in a much more cynical light. Recording just reaffirms the National Republican Party is very much the party of Donald Trump, and the assault on both democracy and now women's bodily autonomy and freedom is happening at every level of government.